Okay, we are back, and right now, this is where we are at right now. Engine is installed, the transmission is installed, and we are going to go through and start working on installing the cylinder heads. So, obviously, I'm jacking up my lift a little bit. And I don't know if I have it listed, but these lifts are spectacular. It's nice to have one. You don't need one, but it's really nice to have one. And it just makes the work level very easy. So right now I'm just looking at everything, making sure that the mating surface of the engine is nice and clean. And I am, the first thing that really needs to get installed there is the base gasket. So here's the base gasket. And here I am just providing a light coating of grease. Well, it looks like it's oil, really, oil. Um, um, just to tack it up a little bit for the gasket to hold. And putting the piston on and putting the cylinder head on while not damaging the gasket sometimes is a challenge. So, a more critical thing is making sure that it is lined up correctly. So, there is a small hole at the bottom right that needs to line up. And not this bike, I bought another bike, and it was a basket case, and the guy I bought it from said, yeah, the left hand cylinder, it's like it smokes and it's like uses oil like crazy. And he had reversed the gasket, so there was no oil going up into the top of the head. So I'm shocked he didn't really cook the head. But it is um, I am putting on rubber O-rings. A rubber O-ring goes on top of where the base gasket is, on the bottom center and the top center stud. And it's obviously it's just to seal it up. Um, and I guess I don't know why it just goes on the top and the bottom one, but it does. So it is just a nitrile O-ring. And they're kind of easy to put on. I don't think I've ever taken a bike apart that didn't have them. And so at this point, the frame of the engine, the transmission look really good. And hopefully um, hopefully the balance of it will stay nice and good. If you look at the frame, it looks like it's slightly dirty, and it probably is a little bit at this point, but I am continually wiping it down. So I am, it's almost like I'm just dry fitting the cylinder. Obviously the piston's not on. And just confirming that everything looks good. Um, and looks good. And so this is where I'm trying something different. And what I'm trying different this time is I installed the rings on the piston. I actually fed it into the cylinder head. And I'm now trying to get it to where I can put the wrist pin in with the piston already preloaded. And I know I'm probably going to um, break the secret, but it's just not that easy. I would never do it again. And I just saw some mechanics in Germany doing it like that, and they were doing it on a Moto Guzzi engine as well. And I don't see the benefit of it. It is, I just have so much trouble doing it to where if I just do it the normal way, um, I guess I just never had an issue with it. It is, I have a very good um, ring compressor that I'm comfortable using, and I can comfortably get the rings compressed. And here I'm just having crazy trouble doing it. And it's, I try anything and everything to get going. So I'm still working through it at this point. So obviously it's got to be at top dead center when I'm doing this. So I'm rotating it to try to get it back to top dead center. And again, I don't care if it's top dead center on the compression stroke or um, the other stroke. So here I go trying to feed it through again. And I cannot remember if I actually got this one in this method, but if I did, it was sheer luck because on the other one I had huge problems. And I just finally went back to the normal way, and it is yeah, it is I keep going back and forth on this. It should not be this hard. What I'm doing is I'm heating up the connecting rod, and I just need to expand it a little bit more. I normally put the wrist pins in the freezer, um, and I normally heat up the pistons. So the wrist pin has been put in the freezer. I heat up the top of the connecting rod, and I heat up the inside walls of the pistons. And normally there's no issue getting it in. Um, and but this one is just taking absolutely too long. In building this engine, it really was kind of, I did a lot of things that I just saw other mechanics do, and it just didn't work well for me. And I I wouldn't do it again. Um, there are just so many ways I can do. I'm just that I would do it that I'm just so comfortable with. This was not one of them. Um, and it was so troublesome. Having to reposition the camera and try it from a different angle, and hopefully this will work. And again, I'm trying to really get this thing going. This could have been just basically a throwaway video, but I guess I wanted to include it because it is every time I do a bike, there is some little issue that pops up. And it is nothing ever is the same. And I guess in this case, for me, it wasn't the same because I was trying to do something different. And with me doing something different, it just did not work out. So the best way of doing it is to, number one, install the piston on the connecting rod. Number two, install the piston rings. And then number three, install the cylinder. It is, I will put a link in the description for the piston ring compressor. That it's like $15 or $20 on Amazon. It comes with like 30 different sizes, and it's basically a strap one, because obviously when you're trying to, you have all those studs that you have to work around. And this one is a catastrophe right here. And it is a shame that I'm not actually just taking the cylinder or the piston out of the cylinder and just doing it the normal way, because this is absurd. Gosh, those mechanics that did it in Germany, I mean, I am telling you, it looks so easy. And I don't know what they did different. And right now, the piston ring is heating, or the wrist pin is heating up, getting warmer. So it is becoming problematic. But trying to get it so that that wrist pin lines up with the hole of the connecting rod. And so I am going to, I guess, stop recording, and I'm just going to let you watch because there's really not much to say here. But it is, again, I'm posting this just so that you can see how to put this on, and ultimately at the end of the video, it does go on. Okay, this is actually where I come to my senses. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a zip tie, and I'm just doing a zip tie that I'm going to put it underneath the connecting rod so that I can actually position the connecting rod. So it's kind of like in the center of the hole. And this is what I normally do. And it is, it's kind of hard to keep that thing centered. So again, I'm trying to install it this way, and it just is not going to work. And it is, even with me trying with this, I actually think that this side does go on this way, but it is taking way so long. I mean, this is like 14 minutes I've been working on it. And if I would have done it my normal way, it is like a minute. So I guess I don't know why I'm not giving up at this point doing it this way, but it just seemed like it was just such a great way of doing it. And and using that using that wrist pin, or that piston ring compressor, sometimes it seems like makes you nervous. You see, I think I got it right here too. And that was pure luck that I got it in. And so I am driving the wrist pin home. The wrist pin already has the the snap ring on one side. So that's why I'm pounding. I'm pounding so that it hits home with that snap ring. And then I'm going to put the other snap ring in. And it's, I am cutting the zip tie. And I don't know what I'm doing here. Obviously, that is the wheel. And I am going to hopefully get the camera straightened up. But the next thing to do is really make sure you have the snap ring in. And so looks like I'm rotating the engine. I'm sorry about the camera angle, but I'm rotating the engine, and I am probably just trying to get it at top dead center again. And it's because you've got to kind of like tap the cylinder down after you get the snap ring in. You got to tap it down a little bit. So it is. We are working through getting this first one on, and we will. The camera angle will straighten up. So, at least I think it will. I have, because I think I saw it at the end of this video, it getting knocked home. So I think we're good to go. So stand by while I am working on getting it straightened up, the camera angle really.